Richard.
He doesn't even know how to work it.
I'm gonna have to hold a mic in each hand. They probably don't know. Have a go. Do I need this mic? No, I don't need it. Well, listen, I've been involved in this, what's been going on in Ballymena since the start of it. I came up here, Tommy got in touch with me when the first protest was happening way back in June, I think it was, wasn't it? And obviously I was shocked to find out that what we've been fighting against in England had come to Northern Ireland. When I came to this country, to be honest with you, one of the reasons I settled here, because we didn't have any of that nonsense in Northern Ireland in 1987. But now it's come here with a vengeance. And I want to say something. I want to say something to Stephen Nolan. He put his face out again in East Belfast the other day. I don't think he got a good welcome. What do we think of Stephen Nolan? He's a pantomime villain. Yes, he's a clown as well. But I want to say something about the mainstream media, the BBC, the PSNI, and Michelle O'Neill. They all lied about those protests. They all lied about what happened in Ballymena. What happened in Ballymena was not a race riot. That is a lie. And the Chief Constable of the PSNI and the Deputy Chief Constable, they lied. It was not racist thuggery. That is a damnable lie and they should be ashamed of themselves. We know, everybody standing here knows exactly what happened in Ballymena. An organised criminal gang came to the town, they set up shop, they took liberties with the people, they exploited their own people, and the PSNI did absolutely nothing about it. And what happened was brave people stood up and they did something about it. And you know something? Ballymena is a better town for not having that criminal mafia in its midst, peddling drugs, prostitution and abusing your daughters. Ballymena is a better place and a happier place. But I also want to say this. Be very vigilant, because I'm going to tell you something. The establishment in this country, in Northern Ireland, believe you me, they're targeting all of us. Be very, very vigilant. They're going to try and put those people back into this town. These protests mustn't stop. You must continue to take a stand, and you take a stand until you win and you get all the criminals and all the gangsters out of this town. Now, Now I was in London last weekend. I don't know if you saw what happened in London last weekend. There was a protest. It was a little bit bigger than this one. Not much. A little bit bigger than this one. But I want to tell you something. Ben Habib stood on the platform. And you know what Ben Habib did when he stood on the platform? He talked about Northern Ireland. The people of England love the people of Northern Ireland. The people of Scotland love the people of Northern Ireland. The people of Wales love the people of Northern Ireland. We are uniting the kingdom. That's what this is all about. And this is really important. This is really important. I understand what happened in June, and I'm not gonna get into condemnation, but I'm also not gonna condone violence. I believe with all my heart we can do this peacefully. We had 1 million people on the streets of London last Saturday, and it scared the shit out of the establishment. And what we need to do here in Northern Ireland, we need to start organising this that we're doing today. What's happening in Bangor, what's happening in East Belfast, what's happening in the Shankill Road. And I want to tell you something else. I want to give a big, massive round of applause to the people in Newry, Muslim Roman Catholics, who are taking a stand against their city. becoming a city of sanctuary. And we need to reach out the hand of friendship to our Catholic neighbours who are taking a stand, because believe you me, they will be getting a lot of heat and a lot of pressure from those slime balls, scumbags, the touts and louts of Sinn Féin IRA. They'll be getting heat from them. We've got to stand with our Catholic neighbours that are standing for what we're standing for. Now, like I say, the only way that we're going to do this without sending a lot of people to prison is if we do it peacefully. And that's vitally, vitally important. So I've got a few solutions of what we can do. Because, let's get it right, we all know, everybody in Northern Ireland knows how to riot. It's called muscle memory. We all know that. We all know that. But there's a better way. There's a far better way to do it. What we need to start doing is this. We need to start building a community first of all. Secondly, we need to get political. We need to find the politicians in Northern Ireland who'll stand with us, who believe what we believe, and we need to make sure that they get behind these protests and support what we're doing. And if they don't, at the next election, you vote them out. Now, my voice is going, so I'm going to finish in a little bit. I was doing a bit of shouting last week, that's all I'm going to say. But another thing that we need to do, I must say, I think it's shameful. Is there anyone here, is there any minister of religion here today? Any pastor? Anyone from the churches in Ballymena? Shame on them. Shame on them. Now Ballymena's the Bible Belt of Northern Ireland, and I believe in the Bible from cover to cover, right? But I want to tell you something. The Christian leaders of this town need to stand with the people of this town, and I put this out to as a challenge to them. Why aren't the pastors of Ballymena out here standing with the hurting people of Ballymena that have been so wounded by what happened to those wee girls in June of last year? Our movement in England, every single meeting we have, it's like a gospel meeting. We have pastors on the platforms. We have bishops on the platforms. That's a very, very important thing. We've got to Christianise this in Northern Ireland. And the problem is the churches have totally detached themselves from us. And I want to say this about England. What happened in Ballymena was horrendous. It was evil, and I respect every single person, and I love you all for standing up for those wee girls. I was talking to Sammy Woodhouse this morning, and if you don't know who Sammy is, Sammy was a survivor of one of the most brutal grooming gangs in England, in Rotherham. And I said to Sammy, I says, what's the stats? Can you give me some stats for talking to the people in Ballymena? In Bradford alone, think about this. And police officers that are standing here, I want you to think about this when you criticise these good people standing here. In Bradford alone, this is what the independent grooming inquiry is finding. In Bradford alone, 72,000 children were raped by the grooming gangs in Bradford. And that's not the worst of it. Do you know how many towns? Do you know how many towns they found out so far have been affected by the rape epidemic in England? 85 towns and cities. So you multiply that 72,000 by 85. That gives you an idea of the scale of what's happening in England. I'm sorry. I don't want Pakistani Muslim rape gangs coming to Northern Ireland and doing the same here. We've got to keep them out. And that is not against Muslim people. I'll tell you what happened in England. What happened in England was almost on a massive scale of what happened here in Ballymena. Little Pakistani mafia gangs dealing heroin, involved in criminality, set themselves up in every town and city in England. And they industrial scale raped the girls in those towns. We can't have that happening in Northern Ireland, and we've got to do everything in our power to make sure it doesn't happen. The rape of Britain is not going to extend to Northern Ireland. We're going to stand here. Here we stand. We can do no other. So help us God. Thank you very much.
You'll not need that microphone.
I know,
Oh, I thought you were getting up there.
Also check out